great pleasure to be your host. And I'm so glad you joined me on the Lady Boss TV 1 channel. Today's guests are the exact reason why I created this show. Keisha Pinto, check this, CEO, I know what you're thinking, creative event organizer. No, creative event officer. I'm getting a little ear here. Creative event officer, and I think that's such a unique way of describing herself. Not only does she have attention to detail when planning weddings and creating these show-stopping candy tables, she's also organizes and execute outstanding events with the sole purpose of giving women empowerment resources for those future lady bosses and the current lady bosses. And Girl, It's Your Life Success, that's coming to Toronto. It's actually coming to Toronto tomorrow, is next on her plate. I have to clear my throat because speaking of Girl, It's Your Life tour, that's in Toronto, we have the lady behind Girl, It's Your Life, Lori Pelzer. Yes, the powerhouse is in studio. So like I said, we got a show for you today. So ladies and the men who love us, grab your favorite cup of joe, sit way back and relax and spend some time with me. And when we come back, we're going to have Keisha Pinto. Welcome back. I hope you like your coffee. I don't know what mine is over there, but that's okay. I am here as promised with Keisha Pinto. So good to have you, Keisha.
Thank you for having me, Janise.
You know what? I said at the beginning that you are the creative event officer. And I was going to say CEO squared because it is your company that you own. And I have to tell, when I first met you, you were such a firecracker. People don't know how I first met you. I bumped into Keisha and her vibe was so good. You just came off of launching
my business in 2014. That's right.
Yes.
Yeah, that's right.
And when I met you, the first thing you said to me was having an event. You go, okay, I want to be there.
Yeah.
I'm doing this. I'm really excited. I love what I'm doing. I'm organizing. I just had a successful launch. So tell everybody, how did this company come to be? Why did you decide to open up Key Events?
It's always been a passion of mine. People say I'm very detail oriented. I've always liked to match everything. My son's birthday parties, it's always an extravagant thing.
Wow.
Like, I don't do anything mediocre when it comes down to those kind of things. And when I started working in the corporate field, I was on the planning team for all our social events, all our Christmas party, and I actually liked doing that more so than my job at the firm at the time.
Right.
So I decided to go to school part-time. So I went to night school for event planning, and while going to work full-time and stuff, and that's really how I got into it. But I've always just had a passion for it, and just for fine details.
So your party was like the party everybody wanted to go to.
Well, not to brag, but I would think so.
I could brag.
I would think
I could
so.
brag on you. Like,
yeah.
I know I plan events and you do the caddy tables, and when I tell you they're showstoppers, it's no kidding. If the colors are pink. You actually, the tables look so good you don't even want to eat the candies.
It's almost one of my signature looks at events and stuff. I try to incorporate the look of the table to the event that I'm doing. Like, as everything just kind of has to integrate, align, and coordinate. So I try to do that when I do my tables, and it just kind of works out well. It's pretty, like almost, you don't want to touch it sometimes.
I don't.
Because it looks so good. But I just find it's almost the experience that people get when they walk into a room. They're walking into something eye-catchy, memorable, because that'll be something that they remember at the event. I know it's the table. So I make my best to make it the most eye-catchy part of the event.
You do more than that.
Yeah.
I always, when I go in and I see the candy table, it just looks like the decor of the place. Like it falls right in.
That's right.
So I know the attention to detail is your specialty. And I also know when you start a company, or especially women, you have a lot of people that will try to say it can't be done, or try to, try to discourage you. what advice would you give to somebody who's maybe just right now trying to launch their business
Yeah.
and is getting, that kind of pushback?
It's not even the people who are discouraging. Sometimes it's actually yourself. With your self-doubting, can I do this? It's yourself.
Wow.
It's not anyone else telling you can't do it. You having this vision and wanting to do something, you doubt yourself. Can I do it? Do I have what it needs or requires to actually build this business? But it's you. So
how did you get over that?
I got over it because I knew what my business looked like. I knew what the vision was for it. I knew where I wanted to go. I aligned myself, I connected myself, and I did the work to get where I am today. You have to know what you want to do in your business. And if you don't know, there's no point. You can't just be doing it just for doing its sake or to get a paycheck. You have to be passionate about what you're doing. And when that becomes a passion, it doesn't even seem like work to you. I love what I do. I would do it for free, but not really.
Rewind.
I would do it for free because I love it that much. You have to have a passion. You have to know what you want to do in your business and where it wants to go. So that's how I got over the hump, because I knew what Key Events is and what it's about, where it's going. So that's really what it is.
So how was it like when you started the business, and how did you get the clientele? How did you build on that? And what was some of the obstacles that were in your way?
If I can be totally honest with you, when I launched my business September 28, 2014, believe it or not, I had nothing under my belt. I didn't have a signature event. I did not plan a wedding. I wasn't coordinating any kind of events. I had nothing under my belt. I literally did one baby shower.
Wow.
For a friend of mine. That's it. I had nothing.
So you just had a baby shower and you were just
honestly, I had no credibility for anyone to say they're going to hire me, Key Events, to plan their events, because I had nothing. But because I'm an avid networker, I was at every networking event in Toronto with everyone who's moving and shaking in the city.
So you know what's funny, Keisha? A lot of people don't realize how important networking is.
It's key.
Like, I can't say it enough. If you really want to build a business, you really got to go out there. Now forgive me, but I almost want to say, to a certain extent, to throw away the resume. The reason why I say that is that now the resumes, everybody can do that cookie cutter resume. But once they see you, know what you're about, then they might say, you know what, send me your resume. With what I do as well with Snap, I'm out in the community a lot, and I see where people start to network and get the opportunity. And it's a smart way to network as well.
It is.
It's not
and
just
especially in my industry, you have to network, because that's how you build business relationships. That's how you align yourself with the people who are going to compliment you and your brand. You have to network. You can't be an event planner and not network.
You are not shy. The first time I met you, I was having my event, and you said, okay, I want to sponsor the event. Here's my number.
That's it.
We just met, and I remember you were wearing orange, because
Yes. Oh yeah, you're right. Oh yeah,
nice,
I really was.
Beautiful orange, right? And I just remember saying, you know what? I know you're gonna make it. I know you're gonna do it. And the thing about it now is you're doing these other women empowering events. How did you get into that vein? Of planning events and empowerment event for women?
At first, I really thought I wanted to decorate. Make a place pretty. Then I'm like, okay, no, I want to do weddings, because I've always had business goals every year since I launched. I wanted to do more weddings, more birthday parties, and decor more. But I find that I was gravitating more to more women empowerment events. For whatever reason it is, I would get something, and I find that I would just be an asset to those kind of events. Even if it's coordinating, sponsoring something. But I just gravitate a whole lot more to it, because women they have to realize, once we start working together, magic happens.
And I love that you said it, because actually that leads me to my next question. I know that you are, I always call you, like, you put the verb in sisterhood, meaning that you are literally there for, women that are starting up. You support them in any which way you can. You really believe in that. So my thing is, how do we, you let people, walk in your shoe? Like, there's so many women, and you know this, that are like, I won't say girl hate, but
it's out there.
How do you try to let them know that it actually does them a disservice?
You know what? I stay in my lane. I know my niche. I know what my sweet spot is. I know what I'm good at. You know that two of my very good friends are in the same industry as me. They do the exact same thing as me, and we are friends. What they do don't do nothing to me. We have our own thing that we bring to the table. So I don't see why we can't, as planners in the industry that I am, work together. And that's what a lot of women need to realize. Not because A, B, C, and D do the same thing that we do doesn't mean that we can't work together. You know, and if women start to understand that, we could actually complement each other and actually build something great. It's never a competition with me. It's always collaboration.
And speaking of building something great, the next great thing that you're doing is, girl, it's your life.
I'm so excited.
Yes.
So excited for this.
So how did you get to collaborate with Lori? And there's a little added surprise, Jessical Washington. Like, how did that come together?
I was actually being of service at an event in San Diego about a year and a half ago. And Lori was actually one of the speakers there. And just by walking in the halls and
Why
stuff.
did you share that with me?
Yeah, she was actually a speaker at the event I was being of service at. And just by being in the hallway, me and her had a very brief conversation. She introduced herself to me. I did the same. She told me what she did. I told her what I did. And all I heard her say was, I do events. I do this Girl Will Be Great events every year. And I don't want to plan my events anymore. That was all I heard.
So
that was all I heard. And since she said that,
yeah, saw an opportunity. Yeah,
that was all I heard.
Yeah, so it's good. I know that this event's going to be really, you know, so it's already. I understand that people are still calling to see if they can get in.
Yes, yes.
And so I guess it doesn't really make any sense to maybe share if they want to get tickets because it's sold out.
Yeah.
But is there a few spots?
Oh yes, we have. We're gonna actually close it off soon because we're at our max now.
Okay.
It's really exceeded what we expected and what Lori and Jessica expected, which I'm just so happy for that.
Yeah.
You know, because I wanted them to come here and have that experience with the Toronto ladies here and to share their girl greatness with them. You know, so I'm excited. I have a link on my bio as well. Keyevents.ca and also Girl Will Be Great.
Perfect.
And Girls Success Life Canada. You can go online there.com.
Perfect.
And get tickets there. Eventbrite as well. It's there. Eventbrite is where you can go there and get there as well.
And it's good because I was going to ask you if somebody wants to use your service, where can they go to find out more about your service, what you offer, if they have an event up and coming? Yeah. Where can they go?
You can find me on Facebook at Key Events. You can also find me on Instagram at Key Events as well and keyevents.ca.
Perfect.
Yeah.
All right, well, you know what? Thank you. You're coming back in the final hour when we have our discussion.
But thank you so much for having me.
Thank you.
I really appreciate it.
Long overdue, but it was worth the wait.
Thank you so much.
And when we come back, we're going to be talking with Lori Pelzer as well as Jessica Washington. I love that name, Jessica. It's so je ne sais quoi. You know what I mean? And we are back. Welcome back to the Lady Boss Show. And speaking of lady bosses, we got two on the couches here for you. Please help me welcome Lori Pelzer.
Yes, I love it.
And Jessica Washington.
Yes.
Woo! Yes. Welcome both to the show.
Thank you for having us.
As I said, powerhouses right here in the house today. And I got a little bit of just about who you are. And if I could summarize it, you started from the bottom to the top to the bottom. Now you're back on top.
Yes.
But your story is very inspirational. So just really want you to tell me a little bit about you. I know you're a success coach. How did that come to be? And you know, how did you know, like the fact that you're now back on top, what was the journey like?
You know, when we start the story about Lori Pelzer and her incredible journey to this place, sitting here with you, right? Sitting in this moment in Toronto, Canada, sitting in a evolution of what a woman can be. Not where she starts, but where she decides to start again, and again, and again. That's who Lori Pelzer is. She's willing to start again. 2007.
So you're not afraid to fall?
Oh no, absolutely. Failure is actually now a part of my recipe. It's a part of it. I'm looking for the next failure, not that I'm saying it's going to happen. No, it's part of it. The next failure is only a part of a conversation. How do I improve and become better at that? One of the questions we're going to ask the women when we're here in Toronto.
Yeah, because I know you're doing Girl, It's Your Life success story. And I actually really love the name Girl, It's Your Life.
Yes.
I almost can assume why you called it that, but I want to hear from you, like, how did you come up with that name?
It's so amazing. It's all spiritual.
Yeah.
You know, spiritual is one of these things. It's not religious. It's spiritual, right? When you're connected to self. You're connected to what you say you connect to. If you're a woman, you should be connected to women. You should know what we all want. We want a great life. Whatever that looks like. If that looks like going 3 blocks down the street, we want a great life.
It's your life.
It's your life.
Yeah.
You're responsible for that life. So I was having this breakdown myself of this thing of working too much, working beyond the place of my own life. And I woke up one morning saying there needs to be a new conversation. Women empowerment wise, so powerful, right? It's missing something. It's missing something. The truth of what an unfulfilled life really looks like. What a chaotic life really does to you. So we need to, it's not about slowing down. It's about getting really conscious. What do you want? And so when I went on that journey, I thought, this is missing.
So I don't want to get too much away because I want people that are going to experience.
Yeah, I got a lot more though.
So do you peel away to find out like what's missing for each and everybody that's going there by some of the tools and some of the what you provide to them?
That is correct.
Wow.
The layer peeling is probably one of the most powerful processes, and I should do it in the room. The drilling down, like we're going for the oil, we drill down. We're surface. We live in the surface, right? We operate in the surface, not just one of us, collectively. So when we get that answer and we have that awakening moment, call it Satori moment, and it feels ooh, yeah, ooh, oh, yeah, all those feelings.
It fits just right.
All that.
It's like trying to get into that right chair, that right, you know.
That's right. The right shoe fit, the right, you know. It's that feeling.
Wow.
We supposed to then, but we don't know this. So we don't know what we don't know. Hold on to that. Go with that. Get out of our head, move with the heart. That's how I did it. I got back up from losing all my money in 07, 08. Girl for the project, 2 babies before she was 18. Mama kind of, when she wanted to be there, she was. When she couldn't be there, she couldn't. Men who touched me that weren't supposed to touch me, took things that you weren't supposed to take, had to learn how to navigate life at a very young age. Begin to be angry at a point that I don't even remember when the anger started, but I do recall being a fighter.
How did you rise above all of that? I mean, because I know you were like a mortgage broker, a very successful mortgage broker.
Yeah, real estate.
With good bank.
Yeah.
And you knew the high life, so that, you know, quote.
What success looked like.
Yeah.
22 to 33 million in sales history. Grew my company from the ground up. No college education. I'm the girl from the projects. That's the period at the end. Books are not free, but you can go in the library and read as much as you like. Books are still a go-to. If you can't start anywhere else, start with a book. Not so much TV, but a book. A solid book. One of the old books. Something that's tried and true. So I would read all the tried and trues. Then I would watch those tried and trues. And I would sit in that, didn't know the word at the time. I just knew something about her story, his story. Then that could be my story. You got to have something to look past when you're in a project. You got to look past bricks. You got to have something. And that was that something for me. And of course, spiritually, there is a higher power in movement. So I began to hear and listen to little sounds, and those sounds kept guiding me. And the one thing I had to learn very clearly is that I am not here for your permission to be here. I am supposed to be here. You're supposed to be here. Your job is to find out why. So when I found out why I had a big mouth, because that's what my sexual trauma was around, your big mouth. So was you molesting me because I had a big mouth? So it was a stigma about the big mouth. So the big mouth became that very thing when you understand it and learn it. So you got to go on a journey of discovery to answer your question. All that was about discovery. Discovering, releasing, letting go, healing deeply within. It's so an empowered process. And I say to women, I promise you, it's just like
So
having good sex.
you have to, ooh.
It really is.
Oh, that's a perfect. Some people.
Good sex. Now, good sex.
As opposed to bad sex.
That's correct.
And some people, if you talk to some guys, they'll say there's no such thing as
Yeah,
bad
of course,
sex.
of course.
Yeah.
Okay? But you have to peel away at those layers yourself. Like you have to really get raw
Yes.
with yourself. So before you can, build up and be
Absolutely.
a success coach, you have to kind of get to know who you were.
That's correct.
And all of what you could do.
Life happens to you first, on the first level of consciousness, when you're unconscious. Okay? You as a boss lady yourself, you can probably recall a moment when you were unconscious. Whether that's being a mother, being a wife, being a woman entrepreneur. You have that unconscious moment, you're like, how did I do that? Why did I do that? When did that happen? And how did that happen, right? That's the first level. It happens to you. Things happen to you. The door bell not working. The car needs repairs every 2 months. Stuff happens to you because it's what you're attracting. So you don't know it yet because you haven't been educated on it. So that's why people like me, a Lori Pelzer, success coach at the highest level, who's trained and who's an expert, we learn what it means to utilize the vast resources inside the universe. And they're called secrets. They're called secrets.
You're nodding because
They're called secrets. And these secrets, they're secrets for a reason. Because they're not known to you yet. So when you get a whiff of them, you're not supposed to not use them. They are the secret weapons. And if we knew better, right, we would do better.
I almost think that you're just going to start working on these ladies. Like once you do It's Your Life, that they're going to want to continue to peel away and discover who they are and rise to the level where they know their purpose was, like what they should be doing. Like I could just see it now.
That's the yummy part, right?
Yeah.
You see your
That's the
smile?
yummy part,
That's the yummy part. When you get past the chaos and the drama and the hurt and the pain and the blame, and we talk about the work. It's in the work. And then the work starts happening through you.
Yeah. Have you ever watched this show? And I can't remember exactly, but it was with Yolanda, and it was called something House. It was basically what it was women that had the pain and they were wanting to know how they can,
How could they
It was
reshape?
a two-part.
It was two-part.
Yes.
Great.
Why I mentioned that is because I used to watch the show, and as they're starting to peel away the layer, you could see their face changing.
Yes, the face changes.
Yeah, you could
it
literally
brings
see them
years
like,
off.
yes.
It's called the weathering process. We've been weathered by our pains, disappointments, confusion. All of that does the weathering. Weathering shows up in our body, inside of our energy, right? You meet a person, you're like, oh, her energy sounds so good. That doesn't mean she can't have great energy once healed. So, when I lost all my money, which is very, very key, all my money. You see, I call it my money because it was my money. It's okay to say my money. And women struggle with owning, ownership.
It's very true.
Right?
Yeah.
Which I did too. If I knew more, maybe I wouldn't have. But I realized it was necessary. I couldn't be here with you right now. It was designed.
Everything happens for a reason.
Absolutely. It was
Everything
designed.
happens for a reason.
This is a design life.
But some people, when they lose it all like that, they never bounce back. They never. So it's your strength, and and your vision and belief in yourself that you're going to get it again.
Absolutely.
Because some people would say, oh, I was making 20 million now, and also it's some people would feel the shame of it all. Like, here it is, having 22, you're probably the best of everything.
Yeah.
And now you have to start again, and some people want to hide because they're going to say, well, it's not Lori now,
Yeah, they said that too.
Yeah.
You know what's unique about that moment? Is when you are in a moment of that big, huge success and you don't know it. You're window shopping your own success. You're living in this world, but you're living in the girl from the project world. You're living in my mama, I'm still mad at you, mama, world. You're living in, I'm still afraid of money. So you got to go on this huge exploration to learn money beliefs, setting new ideas for yourself. So it was important that I lost the money. It was important. It was necessary. I couldn't be here authentically here with you today, sitting in Toronto with the women I'm about to pour with, because it wouldn't have been real. It would have been just this whole thing of keep covering and covering and covering.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, and we can live that way.
And I also think that, and I'm so glad you're saying this, because I also think that when you said you didn't really know money, you didn't really feel.
I didn't know money.
I also think that women in particular, and women of color, black women, that we're almost like discouraged from being wealth. Like wealth, having money is looked upon as, they say money is the root of all evil. Yeah. So, in our culture, they kind of grow us up to say if you have money, then you're going to change and it's going to.
Yes.
So people actually shy away from success.
That is correct.
Because they think if I'm successful, it's going to change me.
That's correct.
And I say success makes you able to do what you want to do.
That's right.
Independent wealth is where you need to be.
Yes, it gives you all these opportunities. Freedom. Yeah. And you know what we do in the room, right? We have a money exercise we want to talk about today. They're going to come in the room.
Yeah, money exercise.
And it's an incredible exercise that I created.
Wow.
But we'll ask one question of every woman. And this one powerful question, she can say what she says, but her body, her eyes, and everything will tell me different.
My goodness, I so hear you on that, because I always say the eyes do not lie.
They don't.
Yeah.
The eyes do not lie. You can do whatever you want to do.
That's right.
But the eyes do not lie.
Right. And we're going to give her permission to feel that.
Wow.
To sit in that. And understand this process of being here in your space today is proof that I was supposed to lose the money. That I was supposed to go homeless. That I was supposed to go to the food bank.
Wow.
That I was supposed to watch my husband go through depression. That I was supposed to feel shame and guilt. To then understand what the opposite of that looks like.
Like, man, true love prevailed, because again, that could have broke up a lot of marriages.
Yes.
But now you guys are probably solid as a rock.
Yes.
And how is it your experience for you seeing all that journey? It's probably just made you a stronger woman.
I was in college at the time when my parents were going through all of that, so it affected me from a standpoint that I knew that I went to Hampton University undergrad, so I knew that my journey through college wasn't going to be like my friends. Because we were homeless. My parents was homeless like in South Carolina, and I was in Virginia, so technically I was homeless too, but I was like living on campus. And so it just pushed me to prevail, pushed me to make great grades, to be involved. It pushed me because I was first generation to go to school. And so it was very important for me.
I knew the sacrifices that your parents
I knew
were
the
making.
sacrifice my parents was making, sending me $50 or $25 when they didn't really have it. And so we talked a lot during that time. And even when I came home from school, we had just really got settled when I graduated. And I took a job that I didn't want. But I took it because I'm like, my mom is working on something, so I have to do the same. And during that time, I still kept my dreams alive. I still was, hoping for a better future. I knew we wouldn't be there forever, and I say it's not that bad. I had a great life for 18 years. A couple years of, budgeting is not that bad.
It makes you stronger.
It makes you stronger.
It makes you appreciate when
Absolutely.
you get there once again, even more so. You know what I mean? So just
I was thankful for that time, because we think, but sometimes we sit in like our house and we're like, wow, we remember we didn't have lights.
Wow.
And I still went to work every day and was with my friends and smiling and stuff, and nobody really knows our story, like people who think they know and some who read about it or hear us talk about it. But that was a very humbling experience for us, and we don't take anything for granted. Like, we don't.
What are you the most proud about your mom? Like, and I'm sure you've probably shared it before. Like, tell everybody.
Her perseverance. Like, my mom literally started her business on a Blackberry. The old Blackberries they used to have?
I still
No, but you don't have this one. This was like
don't say
She got it.
This was like we went in 2005. I don't even think they make it that one anymore.
I just have to pry my hands off of it.
But she had it was a really small one, and she literally did a video. I remember we were like at our place, and my parents were like struggling to pay rent where we were at. And one day this man comes to the door, and he's like, the house was in foreclosure, because the owner owners was not paying the money that my parents was sending. They weren't paying their mortgage. They were all the way in California. And so we were like devastated, like, okay, we're going to be displaced again, you know, homeless again, like we can't go through that anymore. And so I remember at that time, my mom did a video to go to a conference, a sponsorship video. Wow. It was like 500 women applied, and she was picked like out of the 10. And literally, we didn't know how she was going to get there. She won the scholarship. My uncle bought her ticket. She got out there and she did a room like
$60 that she scraped
$60 that I sent her
to go to Vegas.
And literally,
and I had to book a room at the Bellagio Hotel.
Yeah.
So when I ask women to believe bigger, I ask her to believe based on what I know, not what I think. And you had to book the room, right?
We had to book the room. I'm like, Mom, how we're going to afford this?
Wow. So it's a Bellagio. So it's $200 to $300 a night.
Yeah.
Of $60. Wow. Okay. So I booked the room. I accepted the scholarship. I said, well, what's going to happen is
she had roommates. And literally, she had 4 women at the end of the day who needed a room. They didn't book it in time. They needed somewhere to stay. Wow. They paid for basically
the whole thing.
She came back with $400. She came back with $400.
Now that's why I got a woman, right?
Like one lady room with her, paid for like 2 nights. She ended up getting sick and having to leave. She told Lori to keep the money.
I tried to give it back to her.
She's
She
like,
said,
no,
what you poured on me in a few hours.
Wow.
So that very time, and then when she said, you know what, I'm going to go for this, and she hosted her very first event, and I'm like, wow, if my mom can do this with no college education, like 2 babies by 18, like I remember her being a single mother, you know, I can do anything. So for me, that was just inspiration to watch her in the dark, be on her BlackBerry phone building a business. And, you know, we meet a lot of women now say they can't do it, but really it's the transformation of your mind. Yeah. If you transform your mind, you can literally achieve anything.
That's your baby.
That's her, and the tears flowed today. They're gonna flow. I feel surrounded by sisters.
Yes.
Keisha Pinto has become a part of our business as we go back to grab something into the U.S. with Canada. We got some big talks.
We should bring Keisha into this conversation.
Keisha has to come.
Yeah.
Yes, and you are incredible.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes. You know, I believe in sharing. That one key point. I think Keisha earlier in her interview spoke with you about co-creating, collaboration. Co-creation.
She's all about that.
Yes.
You know that.
Co-creation is the key. But if we women could figure one thing out, what is it that we don't like about each other? It's not each other. It's the lower self of you that you're struggling with. You're not jealous. You were not built that way. You have not discovered that your lower self operates. She wants more. She desires more.
She doesn't know how to get it.
She doesn't know how.
Get it.
And she just needs you to ask the question. She needs you to ask the question. She needs you to show up. You need to show up. You need to touch her. She needs to touch you. She needs your hug. We need each other. Period.
And another thing, women are so used to when you ask them, how are you today? I'm fine.
I'm fine. Yes.
I'm great. But really, you're not. And one day I realized I would always tell my friends that. One day I said, you know, I'm not good today. Today was a really bad day. And it opened up dialogue. And, you know, we're so used to, okay, great. Have a good, you know, great. See you soon. But if we're more honest with each other.
And you know what? Sometimes too, especially women in doing business, when you show sometimes that vulnerability, then they think that they can take advantage of it. So it's like, you know, like,
there's a place and a time to definitely do it.
I have been, like, I don't cry very often.
So you just help me cry?
Yeah, well, but I do cry.
But you grab me. I'm so glad you grabbed me.
But the thing is, you know, because sometimes it's an ugly cry. Just need somebody like, oh, where did that come from? You know what I mean? Because that ugly cry I call it a soulful cry.
Yeah, like
you know, and so sometimes I'll be out and I'll think of something and I'll just have that soulful cry. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's a soulful cry because it comes from, you don't even know that the tears are coming down, and you don't even know where the tears are coming from.
We go through a lot.
Yeah.
We just have to learn to be a lot more transparent and just know that people won't judge. Just speak your mind, be honest. I find the older I get, it's the more transparent I become.
Yes.
And the more honest I become with myself.
Yeah.
This was not the Keisha last year. I held stuff back. I didn't say certain things. I didn't want to offend nobody. Now you just speak your mind.
Yeah.
You speak your mind. You're transparent. If you don't like it, it is what it is.
And you know what's good about like
glowing because of that vulnerability.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
But having you seeing like what we're experiencing now, you're actually you have so much knowledge now that you're just gonna fly.
And I want so much for the millennials because I'm like, if we get it now, when we're 40 and 50 and 60, and then we're raising our children. I don't have any children yet, but if I do decide to
well,
have
you know, we ain't 40 yet.
Well,
Like the Papa's old.
I know, it's so cute. Yeah.
Right.
I love
So I
that.
said, how old are you? She was like, I am. I'm like, Mom, you're not that age. But when we get to that age, I see now that people my age, the millennials, we go through so much already. And I'm just like, okay, I know your mom didn't teach you, her mom didn't teach her, but we can break that. Like, we can become more of open and connection, networking. We learn it now. We're going to be building greater generations of young girls coming up because if we can get what women are getting now, we'll be so much a force to be reckoned with. I learn something every time I come. Like, every time I'm at these events, like, I'm really listening and learning. People think, oh, you just work with your mom. No. Like, I'm in rooms with amazing people, and I'm learning so much. Like, even from Keisha, like things that Keisha does, like she's really on it. Like, I seen her schedule the other day, and I'm like, let me send this to Keisha before I send it out to somebody else because I know she's gonna write all the notes that I need. Like, she's very detail oriented.
Can I share that? The first time we did an event, Keisha was sponsoring, and I sent out my schedule. She's like, it looks really good. And I'm like, yes, Keisha.
And it's like it's in the back of your head. Like, I thought about that. But Keisha is that person. Like, she
attention to detail.
Well, I gotta tell my Keisha story.
Okay.
So the schedule did go on. And I did not and was not prepared for what was coming back. So I said, who did we just hire? Who is she? Did she mess up my schedule? Did she take 3 pages and just kill it and turn it into something else?
Keisha had all the notes all over.
Highlighted, stars, arrows.
Very polite,
And then I go, we get to the event and women are going, wow, because their energies are everywhere, right? That's my new compassion speaking. But my old fight, Lori, wouldn't have saw it that way.
And when you hire someone for your
You gotta
event,
let go.
if they know how to redirect energy, what Keisha does in the most polite, mannerable way,
Sharp way,
and making sure, like,
I
you
remember
can't.
we did one of our other events, which was a Mother's Day event that we did, and all was very popular. But we did it at the country club too.
Oh yes, country club, yes.
And she came and did not like the colors. No.
You know, country clubs are very drafty.
She was like, this guy. Let me tell you, so the next couple of years in, I made sure I kind of asked like coordination.
Oh yeah.
Because I know that Keisha would come in and say, I'm not happy, right? And so we couldn't
have done this. Country club to the Sheraton. Bottom line, they're the same in Keisha's mind. I watched Keisha Pinto from afar, the U.S. here, literally shift rooms, turn things upside down.
Yeah.
All I heard was, it's done, this is done, and I'm sitting in my office one day because I'm working with clients, and I'm going.
And I'm like,
but do you see how, like, you believe in the faith that she came in and that she was meant to be?
It was eye-to-eye contact when we met through a mutual colleague at an major event, and it was like 500 people there.
She came back talking about, I met this lady.
I said, I'm better.
I'm like, well, who is she? Because usually sometimes she meets people, and I'm kind of like, okay.
But you gotta tell her how scared you were, though.
I'm about to tell her. I got another
story.
story. I was scared. As you were sharing with Keisha, all I was thinking about sitting on the other side was, like so many women who are ready to grow her business, who are ready to let go, ready to go to the bigger level, right? Keisha and I could have been did this. Like been.
She delayed Keisha for so long. like kept rescheduling. I'm like, hey, we need to have this meeting. Like, where
And
are
she never gave up it?
I was so afraid
Yeah.
to trust.
Yes.
And that's even me, a boss girl, like you said, right?
Mhm.
So what I know about other women,
Mm.
Keisha was no one to be afraid of, but to be afraid of her for sure. She nurtured me in. She stayed on the phone. She stayed consistent. She followed up. There was no guarantees. Then at the very end, I'm sitting in my office one day having a breakdown. I'm breaking down. Jessica and me can't do anything else anymore. The team can't handle me. I can't handle them. Nobody can handle me. I'm done. 3-day event, a 3-day event. And all I hear is spirit. She was there all the time. Her name is Keisha Pinto. Her? The lady that keep calling me, the one that but you looked in her eyes.
Yeah.
You said you wanted her. I do, but she cost. She got to fly here. She got to stay here. She got to manage my event. But it wasn't all of that. It got down. She got to manage my event. I got to release
that.
And that thing that shows up when you have other relationships that hurt you, you know,
Yes.
whether it's business or professional, a lot of times people mix them. You know, they'll mix them all together. But what I appreciate about Keisha was that she, you know how some people are offended if someone's not calling them back. No, Keisha was like, Lori needs this. I have what Lori needs. I'm Keisha. I can handle Lori. I get it. I know what's showing up for her right now, and I'm gonna be there. Like Keisha was already gonna be in Atlanta.
Yeah, that's what she was. I was gonna fly here.
She already had her flight.
Yeah,
Like,
she was
already
coming.
gonna
I was already
come.
coming.
I was like, wow, this is.
She
this
was
is amazing.
coming.
And I think she gets it, you know, that first of all, as women bosses, we're so busy. It's not that we don't need to call people back. It's just like time, and so she gets it. But though you mentioned about the trust thing, that's another thing. Like with especially women, it's hard to trust when somebody has you let your guard down, you give them stuff, and then they go and they. So now everybody's painted with that brush.
That's right.
You put that shield
right.
on because you don't want that to happen
Painted
again.
with that brush.
But then you're doing so much that you're getting the burnout, but you're like, who do I trust?
That's right. And what you have to learn, I'll be teaching it in the room, and I won't teach it today. But for sure, I know, right? But for sure, it's called deep trust. And Keisha Pinto, Key Events, has not only helped me heal, but have allowed me to go further. I actually am in the process of hiring a new team because of Keisha. She didn't know that. I was going to share it on camera. Keisha doesn't know this yet, but the litmus test, she helped me create a litmus test. This test was for the people that I'm about to hire now. This group of women who are going to support our business. Young, powerful, but that's not the key. It doesn't matter how she looked. She had to smell like Keisha.
Wow.
I had to be able to smell her. I had to be able to pick her up in that energy, in that spirit of it all. And she showed up like Keisha, so I don't have to even do a background check. The background check was done because Keisha helped blueprint that for me. I know what it looks like, finally.
Wow.
Right? So Keisha helped me break through. She didn't know that. She also didn't know that one of the things after this experience, we were talking with the new team, and we're talking about money, my operations manager, and we want to hire her for all our events because we do.
You heard it first on Lady Boss,
Yeah.
on Lady Boss Show. You heard it first. This is amazing, amazing opportunity, and you're in good hands as you are, Keisha. And I hope that when you come to Toronto, I would love to be able to take the Lady Boss Show and really cover this event from another angle.
You're in.
Yeah, good.
You're in. You're US in. You Lady Boss, you in.
Lady Boss is in.
Yeah.
I would love that, and I just know that there's going to be a lot of aha moments. A lot of people are going to, you know, transform the weekend that. And they're only just beginning, you know. So I thank you so much for giving.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, thank you, Jessica, Lori,
Thank you for having us, my sister, my new sister.
Canadian sister.
Better known as Seats, and we're in the Seats.
Yes.
Yes.
Pretty soon you will not want to go back home. Except for the winter.
Thank you for having us on your show.
It was a complete blessing. You actually gave so much, and I learned in that little space of time. I already feel like I've been transformed. You gave really generously. So thank you
Thank
so
you.
much for sharing. And I hope you enjoyed it just as much as I did. And I hope that if you get a chance, and if maybe you can quickly let them know if
Yes.
there's some tickets where they can go.
Yes.
And also where you're going next, because maybe they'll travel into that city.
All right, that sounds good. Jessica, you can give them the website.
So the website is www.giyl.ca. So that's giyl.ca, and it'll take you directly to the Eventbrite page. We have a few more general tickets available, and our next event is going to be in January of 2019 in Atlanta, Georgia.
Atlanta, Georgia.
Yes.
Maybe I should be there.
Yes.
Keisha, get my ticket. And on that happy note, thank you for joining us on the Lady Boss Show, and I will definitely see you next time.